Hi, everyone. Welcome to the latest episode of the Power Within podcast. My name is Trevor Evers. I'm your host. And this week, we have another inspiring guest with an inspiring story. His name is Colman Power. And Colman is the author of the Amazon bestseller, The Power of Organic Fitness. His passion is spreading knowledge about the important role organic food should play in our lives. And his goal is to lead people towards a healthier lifestyle by growing or locally sourcing organic food, while connecting with nature, being active, and seeking positivity in all things. That sounds absolutely fantastic. And I'm delighted to have him as a guest on the Power Within podcast. Colman, how are you, my friend?
Trevor, I'm absolutely fine. Thanks so much for having me on. We've already been chatting here for the last 15 or 20 minutes, and I couldn't wait to literally for you to press record so I literally could get going on this because I have so much, as you said, passion, so much energy. My God, you couldn't slow me down. I was down in Tralee last night at a seminar. Now I'm back down in Waterford. I'm now going from here to the likes of a Grow Your Own event I'm doing tomorrow in Laois. Then I go there, I go to Dublin. You couldn't slow me down. There's people that couldn't even tie me down.
Brilliant, you're flying it so.
I am, but I'm delighted to be asked on to like your show to get to, I suppose, like-minded people such as myself, understanding that food is medicine. Before I even get into it, I suppose, just to give a little brief background of who I am, what I do.
Sure.
I'm an organic grower. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a nutritionist. I'm the healthiest fella in Ireland. If there's anyone else out there, man or woman or child or anyone at all, I'd love to meet them. I'm not a competitive man, but I would love to meet them. So that's who I am. I'm 33 years old, as you mentioned and so kindly mentioned. I am the author of a book, a very important book that I got out to as many people as I possibly could, and now it's a bestseller, and I'm extremely grateful for that because I'm a dyslexic by trade, if you want to call it that. It's something that it took me the lockdown periods, if you want to call that, time in the past where we supposedly had to stay in and look after our health by staying inside. But however, I'd be a firm believer in outside and everything to do with outside. And it's linked with health.
Great stuff. So how did you start on this journey that you're on that led to your best-selling book and to be doing all these seminars? I mean, on the radio, of course, that you mentioned that you're on today. So it's fantastic.
I literally only on WLR.
WLR, yeah.
Within less than 40 minutes of this conversation. That's the truth of that. And again, see, my aim is to reach as many people as I possibly can. Right? I'm extremely passionate. I'm extremely, I'm going to say, genuinely looking to get people to be happier and healthier, because that's the whole thing about why I started. I wanted to be as healthy as I possibly could. I went to college and studied horticulture. Lived at home all the way till I was 23 because I didn't really know what I was going to do. Lo and behold, as a 23 and 24-year-old young fella, as he couldn't get a job because he had no experience, I went and studied one more year and did a master's degree in organic horticulture. That's where I kind of really excelled and looked at, I'm going to say, different ways of growing, because the normal, what was done much more regularly was grass was sprayed, plants and crops top to toe. And we can touch on that point, that actually just a simple thing that if anybody is looking to become healthier, getting the likes of apples that are grown chemical free or organically is a simple one. Why? For you to add into your diet, because they can be sprayed up to 10 times in a growing season. You would not believe that unless you actually saw it yourself. That's a lot of harsh chemicals.
Crazy.
Negative is crazy. Yeah, but we live in a world that's pretty goddamn crazy. And you could look at the past of what things have been done and what things have been forced on people. But I'm going to tell you, you want to look after your health, you have to take it into your own hands. That's literally you sowing a seed, planting a tree, and or sourcing your food, eggs, meats, or fish, or anything else that you eat. I have no preference to diets. I want people to eat the best food that they possibly can. So I went and studied organic horticulture and ended up traveling to Australia, coming back and set up a market garden in West Cork. I spent a period of time down there, loved it, and set up an orchard that had 69 different fruit trees. Apple, pear, plum, cherry, you betcha. We had a polytunnel that was literally a green field site. I'm looking out to a grassed area here. It was nothing but grass. Okay, and the tip of the day for people that are growing how to most certainly clear an area is put down a cover, put down tarp, put down reusable silage plastic that's been thrown out anyway that farmers have that you can gain advantage of for free. Put that down. Okay. As a result of that, you peel that back because nothing grows without light. After that, we plant it into a weed-free site. So that's something that I had to do. Put my first polytunnel down there, and then once you have a polytunnel or a glasshouse, you can grow absolutely positively all the fruits and vegetables that you desire on any given month or day in Ireland.
Yeah. I was mentioning to you before we come on here that I have an allotment myself up in the Ballinamona allotments here in Waterford. And the reason that I took on that allotment is I found maybe 5 or 6 years ago that you really had to seek organic food. You know, when it comes to the supermarkets, you know, there's always like a little section hidden away that you have to ask, well, where is it? Has it changed since then, or is it still a little bit kind of like that?
Well, it's one of those things that, right, what you focus in on will expand. The idea is you look for organic food,
Sure.
it's there, but it can be difficult. But just because something is difficult doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, right? Eating
Sure.
healthy is hard.
Yeah.
Growing organically is hard, right? Being positive is hard. And I'm one of those people that
Sure.
has to push past the barrier of what it is difficult, okay? You want something different. You want to be happier. You want to be healthier. You want to look better. You want to feel better. You need to eat and improve your diet. So do anything to literally get your hands on the best type of food you possibly can. Growing your own and is quite simple. But the thing is, you have to start. Whether it's
Yeah.
was a weight loss goal or if you want to quit the likes you're smoking, you know the hardest thing is actually starting. Saying it, flicking the fag away, okay? That isn't going to help you. Okay, eating chocolates and biscuits and cakes every day and going, geez, I'd love to be healthier. That isn't helping, right? But sowing the seed today, the quote of the day is, Trevor, sow the seed today to gain the advantage in the future. You got to start.
That's it. That's it. And it's very much like with what you're doing. It's you know, it's focusing on not only physical health but mental health as well. Because the food that we put in our body, like the fuel that we put in our body, you know, it impacts on our mindset, doesn't it? And how we feel.
Yeah, totally. So that's a great point you bring up. Okay, the food that we eat have a massive result on the way you literally look, feel, and how much energy levels you have. But not only that, right? Your gut, it's your beneficial microorganisms, okay, make 90% of your serotonin.
Yeah.
Take out your pens, take out your papers and pads. That is 90. That is an A plus in exam results for anybody. Okay, so if you want to be happier, you need to improve your diet. How do you improve your diet? You can literally grow Oriental salads that are so simply grown, like a delicious salad. People say, I used to like greens growing up because I wasn't eating the right ones. I want people to realize that it's rocket, it's minsuna, it's tatsoi. If you don't know them, okay, it's because you now need to get into the growing scene. There are like types of brassicas that are very similar in growing. You have a yogurt container, which everybody has. If you're not eating yogurt, you need to switch up your diet because they're a natural probiotic, which is good for your gut health as well. So we can touch on that. The point is that get a yogurt tub, pop a couple of holes in it, a little bit of soil or compost, anything you have, make a hole in the center, 4 seeds in that, and you can literally have something growing on your windowsill. After that, it's put out into your veg patch or a larger pot outside. You can have those nearly 365 days of the year. Yes, even on Christmas Day. I have so many other
Brilliant.
free pieces of content that you can really look at and watch and study. But the thing about it is, all the information, everything for about anything, Trevor, is out there on Google. We are information overloaded right now, but we're knowledge lacking. So what I do is I get people to either come to a grow your own course, come to a retreat, and or get in contact with me on social medias. My name is Colman Power Organic Fitness. It's my name. I make it real simple because I'm a simple man. I find it, I suppose, is we get people to do simple things because really we're not doing the simple things. We're not even making the healthy food choices because we're, I suppose, lost in all this information overload. Okay, but it's about, again, connecting with the right people. Sowing the seed, we will literally use that analogy again and again and again, because you don't just sow a seed one day and hope to harvest every day. Sow a seed once, harvest once. Sow a seed again next week, you harvest the next week. That's how it happens. Again, you don't just literally cook one meal and have to be fed forever. You cook one meal, you want it the next day. Cook again, and that's how we do it. Step by step, we get ahead. And that's really, really important because the food that you grow and most of the food that you eat affect your mood and affects your mindset. And your mindset is a massive part to play. And that's what I was doing down in, like, say, Kerry.
Yeah.
So I was down in Kerry doing a business seminar for people who are starting off, like their own, I'm going to say, an entrepreneurial role for themselves, whether they're starting off very, very early and or either in the period of transition, or they're looking to maybe, I suppose, excel and take on more of a role in relation to taking on and delegating out jobs so that they have more free time for themselves and their family out the other side of it. So those are different things that, again, but all those linked with food.
Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff. And, you know, it's really important that people take full responsibility for their health and well-being, isn't it? And, you know, a big part in that is what you probably put into our bodies, and in terms of the food we eat and the water we drink. And unfortunately, we live in a society that bombards us with all of this, like, processed crap 24/7. I mean, I know, like, it's out there, the organic stuff is out there if you want to go and get it. But for the average kind of Joe Soap that kind of doesn't see it, that, you know, does their shopping on every week and Friday or something like that, it can be hard to kind of break that cycle of kind of buying all the junk. But, you know, like, the work that you're doing is bringing that knowledge to people. And it's not always easy because, you know, the receiver of a message has to be ready to listen and to take it on, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, most certainly, Trevor. And if people, the idea, right? You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. People have to want to change. But the idea is if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect, okay, a different result, that's the definition of insanity. We can't literally expect to be healthy if we're not eating healthy
Yeah.
foods.
No.
People are being sick and becoming sicker and sicker, not by chance. It's because of food choices. It's because of lifestyle. It's because of, on a regular basis, you are, the majority of the time, you're eating SH1T. It's full of E numbers. It's full of, you turn back around, I'm trying to find something really close to be nothing here in the house that will be full of an ingredients list that be longer than most certainly my hand. I get people to realize, right, the closer you get to a single ingredient food, that is an egg, that is a green, that is a tomato, that is a potato, that is oats, and all the spices that you want to add in, whether it's like turmeric, ginger, all massively high in anti-inflammatories, which I wrote about in the likes of the book, The Power of Organic Fitness. Again, these are things that are natural prebiotics. So clearly improve your gut health, which is linked with overall increased energy levels and everything else out the other side of it. There is prebiotics. Prebiotics are different fruits and vegetables. Yes, they are literally going to help you to be healthier, but most people are not eating enough fruits and veg. Okay, meats are the next thing we can talk about, that, and or protein sources. So we'll go and lean towards the likes of your probiotics. We talk about that. Yogurts, such a simple thing to add into your diet. So those are fermented foods. Yogurt is fermented, cheese is fermented. We have kimchi, we have sauerkraut. That's just fermented cabbage. Okay, and after that, then you have miso paste. That is another thing you can add to breads or stir fries in any of the dishes that you have on a regular basis. So that's literally things that people can add in today: fruits and veg and fermented foods for anyone who's looking to, I suppose, be healthier.
Brilliant, brilliant. And you mentioned a term there before we came on here, like, you know, I know there's many benefits of eating organic. Would you like to share a couple that comes to mind? I mean,
yes,
like,
I
a word that people don't hear that often, that is very important, I think, is antioxidants. And maybe you'd like to explain that term as well.
love it, because I could talk about this all day, and I do talk about it all day. Antioxidants, okay? These are the beneficial, I suppose, items and chemicals, you could call them, but beneficial chemicals that are produced in a plant, okay? They are increased when you have the likes of your I'm going to say, our food produced organically. Why? Just take, for example, we'll say the likes of your tomato leaf that would be nibbled, bitten, and as a result of that, okay, those beneficial, the plant can't run away. Those beneficial chemicals have to be most certainly produced in the plant, which gives it a higher concentration of antioxidants in the likes of the fruit, which is the part of the plant that we eat. Okay, antioxidants are linked with flavor. So if anyone's ever had homegrown tomato and or anything grown from, I'm going to say, homegrown or grown organically, you know the taste is the difference. So every time that you most certainly gain advantage of something that's grown organically, you better taste. When you better taste, it's the antioxidants that actually give it
Right.
that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So all the time, anybody here who would not like listeners and viewers of this, and even have this on the likes of TikTok, and I put it on IG Live as well, because I like to multitask. Because I'm literally trying to connect to as many people as I possibly can on a given day. And that's how we literally do it. And Trevor said, Jesus Christ, I can't believe you literally are doing that. I could literally love and would love to have even 4 different phones here going at the same time. Because I have a mission. I was down in Tralee last night. I didn't get back till closer to 2 o'clock. I had a lie-in for myself a little bit. I got up at 8 o'clock. Okay. And for most people say, that's a lion. Yeah, well, I typically get up at 6 o'clock because I have so much to do. I have people to train. I have events to organize, and I have podcasts and radio shows and people to meet. And as well as that, I have calls and I have to fit in my healthy lifestyle too. I have to get outside. I have to sow the seeds. I have to maintain and show other people to do and live this lifestyle for, I'm going to say, themselves. Because it's not a diet that I follow. It's a lifestyle of connecting with people who want to be healthier, who want to eat high antioxidant foods, which come from the best foods that you can get chemical free and or organically. Okay, the word organically is a registered term. So people say, can I trust something that is grown organically? Remember, you have to trust somebody. So the idea is, if you don't want to trust either something that has a green registered logo, that means it's organic, look out for that logo. We should have something to show you guys. It's just literally a leaf shape with stars. It's like a dot in the shape of a leaf. Look out for it, everybody. So that's going to signify that it's registered in Ireland with either Organic Trust, yeah, or it's IOFGA. I think it's OFA, they shorten it down to. But anyway, those are the 2 main governing bodies that Ireland, I'm going to say, have for registering their produce, whether it's a food item such as a fruit or vegetable, a meat source or eggs, or a product. And the product is slightly different because it only means, if it's registered organic, to have 95% of its ingredients organic. So let's say it was a pancake mixture. Okay, 95% of the ingredients, whether it's the egg, the flour, and or maybe some seeds, are all mixed up in the powder, because it's Pancake Tuesday. We're actually recording this, so it's something that 5% of it, the sugar mightn't have to be registered organic. So that's something that is just, I'm just passing that piece of information on to you. So antioxidants, if anybody here is looking for more, I'm going to say energy, as a result of less stress on the body, that's what antioxidants do. They reduce stress on your body. Less stress, more energy. Because people say to me, Colman, my God, I would love to have even a quarter of the energy that you have. I am showing people every single day. All you have to literally do is watch and follow. Okay, go and watch any piece of content, and like anybody, you don't have to. Some people that don't actually resonate with me, that's fine, because I'm so go. I find it difficult to even slow down to talk. I want to literally tell as many people and pass it on to as many people as I possibly can.
Where are you based in terms of, like, growing, and do you have an allotment yourself?
No, right now I'm also, after coming out of the game of commercial growing. I was based, as I said, down in Cork. Then I did Grow Your Own in a particular site in another 60-foot polytunnel. And for those of you who have ever grown 60 foot, it's a big ass space. And so, and that was just a polytunnel.
Right. So there was a lot of maintenance and a lot of work to keep that going, and
that's it. And it's just like anything. If you want a different result in your current job or your current aspect in health, you have to tweak some things. So I came out of it, I'm going to say, commercial growing. So I now was labeling myself as an educator or an influencer. Some people might categorize me as well. So I am now literally going and showing people, seed by seed, step by step, day by day, on how to exactly get healthy. Whether your fitness goal is there to lose weight, to improve your, I suppose, the way you look or the way you feel, it all comes down to the foods. And then in on top of that, some way, shape, or form of exercising, whether it's walking, whether it's using 2 sets of light kg dumbbells. For the most part, people are and need to do the simple things, and that's the start.
Yeah. Like, as I said, I have an allotment here in Waterford, and the difference between organically growing, say, strawberries, even, like in terms of the color, than the ones that you kind of pick up in the supermarkets is, it's night and day, isn't it?
It is, and colors again are linked with antioxidants all the time. Yeah. The darker the color, the higher the antioxidants. There's the simple tips. We talked about this, Trevor. I said, Trevor, what do you want me to pass on to the listeners and viewers? Listen to the simple things I'm telling you. The darker the purple, The darker the red, the darker the orange, the higher the antioxidants.
Right.
Antioxidants are so beneficial for neutralizing free radicals. That means literally just helping your body to, I suppose, be as healthy as it possibly can. It's a positive and a negative, and then neutralize it. That's kind of it. So when people say, God, that's a lovely dark green, that's a lovely, I'm going to say, purple colored, something you get purple colored tomatoes. You can get purple colored, I'm going to say potatoes, which I do recommend the viewers and the listeners to start growing this year. To grow something so simple. You put a potato in the ground. You don't have a piece of ground. You can use a bag. You can use a bucket. Put it into the bucket. When it's in the bucket, okay, a stalk will come up. You start putting more soil in around that. You put in one potato, you get 10. That couldn't be any more simpler for anybody who doesn't know how to grow. You can't. And how do you grow a potato? What is a potato seed? The potato that you get, that you buy at the shop. That is a potato seed. That is it. You don't have to complicate it. Where do I get it? The ones that you're buying are most certainly the ones that you can grow. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no secrets to it. There's no, like, people think that I'm doing something extraordinary. I'm really not. I'm actually doing the simple things extraordinarily well. I get up at a regular time. I eat regular meals. Okay. I shop local. I grow some of my own food. I go and then show people how to grow their own. I'm doing a course in Dungarvan for the next 8 weeks that gets people to sow a seed. We'll be using Dungarvan, County Waterford. I get people to, in on top of that, go home with the likes of tomatoes, go home with potatoes if they have a polytunnel or a glasshouse, because you can put them in at this time of year. And again, potatoes are a carbohydrate, which is the body's first source of energy. If you're low on energy, you need to increase your carbohydrates. They are not the devil. And it's just so simple. And I'm just trying to share this and get as many people to share it as we possibly can to get this type of information to the right type of people.
And if I know, like, if some of our listeners out there are thinking about growing some of their own food organically at home, what would you recommend? Would you have any tips for them starting out? What are the simple things that they can grow at home?
The simple things for people to grow at home, right? And remember, the most important, it's a great question. The most important thing to grow for yourself organically is the fruit or the vegetable that you eat the most of. Okay, there's the tip of the day. So if you eat, I'm going to say, a lot of potatoes, you eat a lot of carrots, you eat a lot of spinach, kale, any type of green that you would like to consume more of, that's the one you should start with. Okay, so we'll talk about the simplest one. That's greens. We'll go with either spinach or kale. Okay, we'll go with spinach because most people like spinach. It contains iron, it contains magnesium, it contains vitamin C. All absolutely no-brainers for you to add in because most people are taking them in supplements. Okay, definition of a supplement is to supplement what you cannot get from your diet. So straight away off the back of that, it is, okay, sowing perpetual spinach. Write it down. I can't spell it. Peptual, perpetual spinach. You can really Google that. It's broadly, okay. The slugs don't like it half as much. It's a real easy one. It can be grown and started off in a yogurt tub. I say yogurt tubs because most people eat yogurts. If you're not eating them, I want you to eat a yogurt. Get an organic one in any of your large stores organically for less than €3. Sometimes they're $2.50 because of the discounts that they give you. And in on top of that, we are looking at, okay, planting in a seed, and within, I'm going to say less than, I'm going to say 4 weeks, you can have it out in your veg patch or in a larger pot, so you can harvest your own. So sowing 10 in each individual pots or yogurt tubs that you have. That means you have 10 spinach plants that go out into an area outside in pots, or your veg patch. If you don't have a veg patch, just keep them in the pot. And that means, remember, that you can individually harvest the leaves as they, I suppose, get taller, get stronger. And as a result of that, you only take the outer leaves, okay? As a result of that, then you have free food for yourself. The more, I suppose, you eat, the more I want you to grow. And that's the simplest thing. Get your seeds, okay? I'm giving you the advantage of a company based down in Limerick. They're organic. Okay, the idea is I have a discount code for people. Okay, this is the best thing. It's not discount code for new face cream that reduces wrinkles and does all this magic stuff. No, the weight just falls off you when you use this discount code. No, I am telling you for actual real things, seeds that you can literally gain advantage of. And what I want you to know is, okay, they're spaced in Limerick, County Limerick, Seeds, Ireland. My discount code is my name, COLMAN, and then 5. If you can put that, Trevor, in the likes of the show notes, people can gain the advantage.
Well, indeed.
I want people to literally start doing and more of the simple things. Everybody used to grow. Okay, our grandparents and or our parents used to do it, a little bit of it too. Okay, get back to the roots of what real health is. Okay, I'm telling you, you will feel and look so much better out the other side of it. And there's just someone here in the comments about anti-inflammatory foods. All right, that is such a no-brainer for anyone to remember. Anti-inflammatories come from every different fruit and vegetable. Okay, so the idea is, okay, pick the one that you can literally grow yourself and or get your hands on locally. That means you will literally look and feel so much better when you are eating those different types of foods. So take, for example, my breakfast, okay, was filled with, okay, the last I've finished off today. It's sad to say, but we're coming into spring. The last of the blackberries that I picked in my birthday month, September. Don't forget it, 24th. I want birthday cards.
Wow.
Okay. I literally finished those off and had them in the likes of, okay, a bit of a smoothie. Following that, I had eggs, I had sourdough bread with the likes of pumpkin seeds, which are high in, again, healthy fats and protein, zinc, which again are really good for anyone who's interested in reducing or eliminating parasites in their body. Next thing is I had the biggest handfuls of, I'm going to say, greens in with that, and not just any greens that really I sowed seeds on Christmas week that I'm now harvesting now and continue to harvest, and a cut and come again system, which is so important. You can do that. That's what everyone should do.
There's a great sense of reward, isn't there, in growing your own food organically. I remember the first year I had my allotment, that, you know, when I went to harvest, like it, you know, it's such an amazing feeling to actually go and, you know, get that end product and, you know, eat it, and it tastes so delicious. Like that's, you know, that it's a great sense of satisfaction when you go and do that and go, right, I that was once a little seed that I kind of took care of until, you know, from point zero to point, like you're harvesting it and you're enjoying it. So it's something that like you kind of really get into, isn't it?
It's addictive. It's the idea that, again, progress is addictive. Whether it's your, I'm going to say, your fitness or something you grow. Once you see, I suppose, progress, you want to continue, right? You start eating healthy. You start doing a little bit of exercise, all right? You then start to see, oh my God, I'm looking good. I'm fitting into these jeans that I haven't fitted into in ages. Amazing. This dress is just sliding onto me. You've less bloating. Your skin looks better. Your hair is glowing. And that all, I suppose, is something that when you start, okay, you want to continue. But the hardest thing is to start. So I can only, I suppose, tell you that get motivation from somewhere, but motivation won't last forever. Because people say, "Come on, I'm not always motivated to exercise. I'm not always motivated to grow. I get tired, I get sick." Okay, then it becomes really important to be part of a group. Okay, whether it's the accountability, I'm going to say, the accountability of, I'm going to say, people either being part of a community, whether it's an allotment, or being part of a grow your own group, or even a fitness or health group, whether it's people that are in a gym. People are mentioned here in the comments. I seen you in the gym yesterday working out. And the point is, I train most of the majority of my clients and myself at home. But the thing is, but being part of either having an accountability partner, whether it's a coach, a mentor, or anything else in between, the key thing is, okay, to have people with you. It's the second quote of the day, Trevor. If you want to go fast, all right, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together.
Yeah. And it's about installing healthy habits, you know, as well, isn't it, within yourself, that like that every day that you're automatically, you know, making healthier nutritional food choices, like, and doing that in a way that it's seamless, that you're not looking at it as a chore. Like a lot of people kind of have kind of this thing where for most of the time they might just eat rubbish, but then kind of, oh yeah, they have an apple, or they might kind of squeeze the health part into kind of part of the day. But it needs to be kind of a whole lifestyle, doesn't it, really? Like if you're really serious about, you know, and you're accountable for your health and well-being, that you really need to kind of look at the foods that you're eating from the moment that you get up in the morning to when you go to bed at night. And
yeah,
like, in terms of that, like what would you recommend for a day? Are you somebody that would advocate the three usual well-balanced meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, breakfast, dinner, and lunch?
I'm going to say just like business. I was doing a business event last night, or just like every individual's health. Okay. It's so specific. Okay. But for me to tell people that they should have 3 balanced meals, or should they should even have 3 meals. Some people want to have 2. Okay. Some people are going out there now and they're having 1. But for the most part, picking what suits you and your work. Depending on if you're working night shift, depending on if you're working 12-hour days, depending on if you are working at home, depending on if you have to meal prep, or everything else in between. We need to discuss or have a chat with someone who's qualified, not some jackass on social media that says, this is the plan, there it is, copy and paste it. It's $99.99. This is on sale, this special this month. And that's what works for everybody. No, no shoe fits everybody. So you have to really look at, I'm going to say, your foods, individually. Okay, because I eat different to the way that my brother eats, because my brother eats and enjoys different things and wants to factor in maybe a bit more processed foods as opposed to I don't. The next thing is my cousin, that most certainly is somebody who's maybe or might be overweight. As a result of that, he needs to eat slightly, or she needs to eat slightly different foods than I do. The idea is, okay, the principles still apply. Okay, it's eating real single ingredient foods. Okay, it's cooking from scratch. It's doing your best to get things local. It's doing things to get something fresh and to have it, again, as beneficial as you can to yourself, that you can make it and or eat it as best you possibly can, having 3 main things the body runs on. That's proteins, that's fats, that's carbohydrates. Okay, because we all know that type of information. Trevor, we all know how to be healthy, right? It's literally exercise, walk, eat healthy. But we're not doing that, because sometimes we don't actually want to do it. And that's that key point again. You have to want to do it. You have to want it to be part of your lifestyle, because the idea is, if you do not, want it, you won't do it.
But if you're eating like the right foods and you're putting the right fuel in your body, you're more likely to do it, because you'll have that energy and vitality to go and do it. But the question I have for you here, like, how do you feel about juicing? Would you be an advocate of juicing?
I certainly would be an advocate of juicing, again, from the likes of single ingredient foods. But right, and that's what it is. But Trevor, juicing isn't people's problem. People aren't going to, I suppose, completely change their life if they start juicing. They need to decide, what they want. They would gain advantage of juicing, of course, if they did it. But most people's problem is they're eating too much processed foods. If you start eating one healthier items, right, you will gain advantage of it, whether you juice it or not. Whether it's you eat, let's say for breakfast, drink a smoothie. Right, a smoothie is typically keeping the fiber involved in it and gain the advantage of it as well. If you wanted to have a real breakfast, standard breakfast, typically might be in Ireland, might be breads, there might be eggs, there might be, I'm going to say greens, and on top of that, that's maybe a savory kind of breakfast, and that'd be super filling. You would also gain the advantage of that. There is no disadvantage to eating real foods. So whether it's juicing, whether it's overnight oats, or it's something that chia puddings, that are another thing that people are using in example, it's finding the thing that you like, that you want to add in, because real foods are the real solution.
Yeah. Well, Colman, it sounds like you're a really, really busy man, that you're on the go, and you have a lot of stuff going on. Would you like to share with us some plans that you have coming up, and like what you have on the cards for the rest of 2024? I'm sure there's a lot in it.
I'll give you a couple that are coming up very, very soon. So with myself, I'm doing an event in Waterford in the Tower Hotel. The date is very close to being decided. It'll be in the month of February, just depending on when this podcast is coming out. But there will be ones very, very shortly further afield. But Waterford, I know where myself and yourself are based currently, is where the next event will be. I do grow your owns all around the country. And the next one is in County Galway. For listeners to this podcast, I'm sure it might be based up in Longford, where Trevor is currently from himself. The idea is, and that is on the 3rd of March. I have a retreat in March down in Cork. That is a 3-day event. That is growing your own, that is nutrition, that is yoga, that is exercise, and there's a mindset coach involved in that. Those are all different events that I have going on throughout the year. At the Camino, January, March, April. That's fully booked out. That's sold. That's gone. But that course in Dungarvan is something that's going on for 8 weeks. So again, if anybody's interested in grow your own, and or I'm going to say anything at all, please send me a message. I love talking to people in the DMs. I send voice notes because I can't spell for love nor money, but I can sure as hell talk to you because um,
What date is
that's
the
one thing.
one Colman and the Tower Hotel? I might go to that myself.
Very good. And that's at a very, very low cost. I'm going to say, Trevor, for €20 at ticket. For people who want to, I suppose, start their own business journey or, I suppose, meet like-minded people for 2 hours. The date is yet to be decided, probably before the end of the day, because I can guarantee you, I can already see my phone flashing that the person, Declan, trying to ring me to give the date, so I might be able to give it to you before the end of the day,
Yeah.
so we can set. But and that's great because already I know there's loads of people, most certainly in County Waterford and in the surrounding counties, that would love to gain the advantage of a seminar, whether they want to start their own business, make their own money, become their own boss, and have more time and more income from themselves, and or I suppose just continue, I suppose, what they're currently doing.
Brilliant, brilliant. Just a couple of questions for you to finish up. One, if one of my listeners are like tuning into this and hearing on this great information, what would be the main reason you would suggest to them to go organic in terms of the benefits that they will get? Why should I? I'm listening here. I'm sitting here. Why should I change everything and go organic?
And it's that key point, right? With organic food, it's not only beneficial for you, it's also beneficial for the environment.
For the
Okay,
environment as well, yeah.
Organic food is not something, right, that is, it isn't sprayed with harsh chemicals. Okay, the harsh chemical, the typical one, the strongest one out there that is causing major negative effects on not only our own gut health but also the likes of the soil, is glyphosate. Glyphosate is a carcinogenic. That means it really gives and may and has been proven to cause cancer.
Yeah, Roundup.
Yeah, it is Roundup. It's active. Glyphosate is an active ingredient in that kills, right, the Shikamawe pathway. And I'm trying to get too technical because I can go technical, but we'll leave it at that. It literally is the active ingredient that kills.
It is. And actually recently I seen the guy that's out spraying the weeds in the path and stuff like that and wearing a mask while doing so, like very, very near to where my children go to school. So like it is something that is still kind of normalized, has been used in, estates and, around everywhere around. And it really is like detrimental to the environment, isn't it? Glyphosate.
Terrible. And again, it's nearly become the norm. If you see a weed, a dandelion, or anything else in between coming up the likes of a corner of a pathway or a patio that I'm looking out onto here, that's absolutely criminal. Weeds are actually beneficial. There's so many benefits to them.
Sure.
Okay, we can expand on that further. Dandelion is something that, again, the people want us to be sick. They're literally spraying it and producing something that kills the weed, right? And that kills our beneficial microorganisms in our stomach that produces happy hormones. And actually 70% of your immune system is located in your gut as well. So if you want to be happier, remember that spraying this poor little innocent dandelion, that the leaves are edible, that literally are a natural prebiotic. They're high in a type of fiber called inulin. The flower is edible. And not only that, it's beneficial to what's going to come and pollinate it. The bees, we need them. Without them, we're snookered. Next thing we're going on to is the root. There's alternatives that, again, that are in shops. You can go to the shop, you can go to the health food store, which I do recommend more people to go. But if you're paying for it in dandelion coffee, which is $6.50 in the local health food store, an alternative of it is outside your back door. If you don't have dandelions, because people have messaged me, go on, man, on messages on social media, I don't have dandelions in my garden. Go to your next door neighbor. They'll have dandelions. If they don't have it, okay, go down to your next door neighbor's next door neighbor. There's dandelions in every small town, village in Ireland. But getting your hands on them and consuming them in any way, shape, or form is what you can do, okay? Because that's literally nature provides, but we're actually killing them. We're the problem.
Yeah. They say there's a remedy within every weed or every herb as well. Like there's so much more out there than just dandelions. And I have, I keep an eye out for different weeds with medicinal effects. And, it's amazing, like, when you open your mind up to that stuff, what you come across and the knowledge that, you can obtain from that. Like even something as simple as nettles, you know, the stingy nettles, how you're kind of like trained as you're going up to kind of avoid them because, you know, they have a pretty harmful sting. But they're so nutritious, aren't they? Like for soups and stuff like that, and they're everywhere.
Yeah,
So
you're dead right. There's so many benefits to them, Trevor.
yeah,
Like I had some myself on my own podcast there last week talking about them, and it was on the key point that there's different parts of the plant that are useful and beneficial at different times of the year. So spring, when this podcast is coming out, nettles are full of iron. Okay, that is going to again increase your energy levels. Really important for women at different times of the year. And if anyone is going to say after, I suppose, giving birth, which a lot of, I suppose, people and or looking for an extra boost, nettles in spring are what we've always put into soups and stews at this time of year. In on top of that, okay, nettles, fresh nettles, the top 6 to 4 inches are where all the nitrogen is literally formed. You get free nitrogen, cutting the nettles, steeping in a bucket, 24 hours of water, pouring that on liquid feed to your crops. You want to, I suppose, have glowing nitrogen boost for free. Nettles are in every garden again in Ireland.
yeah, brilliant. Colman, the information that you've shared with me here today and our listeners is absolutely amazing, fascinating, and great stuff. Would you like to share some other nugget of wisdom that you may have before you say goodbye here today? Is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
I suppose golden nugget of wisdom that I didn't already
Put
touch
you on
on
the spot
today.
a bit.
No, I have no problem thinking of something on the spot. It's the idea that make sure that you're eating more food that benefits you, right? Because when you're your best, okay, your kids, your partner, your work colleagues all benefit out the other side of it. Food is absolutely powerful and it's completely changed my life. I used to be the unconfident. I used to be the quiet, the weak. In on top of that, the person who had autoimmune disease. I used to have asthma. I used to have literally eczema running all the way up the back of my hands, which made it very difficult for me to, I suppose, become confident because again, it's the first thing people look at, the likes of your skin. And once your skin is healthy, you again glow from the inside out with the food that you're eating on a regular basis. If there's anyone who wants to suppose get in contact with me, it's my name on social media. I'm on every social media platform. Why? Because I have that goal to get up, even on the days that I'm tired and I'm lacking, I suppose, motivation, but I have determination and drive. It's my name, Colman Power, COLMAN POWER, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on I think it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it now. I'm on all of those.
Brilliant. Colman, you're a gentleman and you're a wise man, and look, you're an inspiring man as well. And I hope, like you've been inspiring me here today. And guys, folks, I hope he's been inspiring you out there as well. Colman, thanks very much for coming on. I really appreciate your time.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. And look, we'll be in touch. And keep in touch. Take care, my friend. Okay, folks, it's that time again to say goodbye. My name is Trevor Evers. I'm your host. This is the Power Within podcast. And until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we'll see you on the next episode of the podcast. Take care, folks.